So today I thought I would do something a little bit different actually. It's a bit of a different video. It's very FIFA based, alright? We're taking a look at a lot of FIFA stuff and a lot of FIFA stats today. Now I'm not going to bore you with in-game stats in this video because like I say, it could be a long video. We don't want to make it too long, do we? We just want to get to the point. We want to show you guys some interesting stuff, and that is the whole point of this video. We don't want to make it 20 minutes long, do we? You don't need to. You moan about my intros being long enough as it is, so we do need to shorten them down a little bit. But today we're going to take a look at players that have better stats than legends, alright? So players in Ultimate Team FIFA that have better stats currently than legends on the card, alright? Not looking at in-game stats. We're not even interested in that for the minute. So some of these are maybe like a good cheap alternative to a legend. Some of them are maybe even more expensive than a legend, you know? It's not necessarily about the money. It's just interesting stats that I think you lot will enjoy to see. Now as always guys, just smash a like and a thumbs up down below. 3,000 likes on this video as always would be absolutely insane. I don't have one on me, but my friends at GetGripped.co.uk are doing a pretty good deal on green ones of these, right? The cheapest custom controller you're ever going to find is a green one on there. If you guys want to go over there and get that, link is in the description. Now it's time to get into this episode, alright? We have like 6 players, I think maybe even 5 players that have got pretty interesting stats. I want to look at them. I've done a little versus bit of graphics, alright? So we can compare the two next to each other. Batraguinho. Have I pronounced that right? I don't really know. But anyway, that is a new one, alright? I want to talk about is obviously a legend card striker, Spanish. We've got Mertens, which has got, you know, arguably one of the most interesting striker cards in the game currently too. So as you guys can see, the overall rating difference is 3. Obviously, they've got a 90 rated on the right and an 87 rated on the left. But if you look at the stats now, this is what the most interesting part is, alright? This is why I'm making this video. 93 pace on Mertens compared to 91, alright? We've got 90 dribbling, no, 90 shooting, sorry, compared to 88. We have 88 passing compared to 78. 91 dribbling compared to 87 dribbling. And Mertens has even got better defending and even better physical stats, alright? So he's better in all 6 stats than this 90 rated legend striker. Now, they have very similar price caps on FIFA, so they are sort of similar money, so I don't know if there's going to be like, you know, an alternative you should go for. But mate, the Mertens card is banging. Obviously, the legends have a bit of a benefit because they can fit in any team, don't they? They link up with any player, whereas obviously Mertens doesn't. But I've started off with an absolute bang because I do think this one's really interesting. Every single one, literally, is better, okay? And I wouldn't even thought it. Mertens is not really that much of a physical player, and he's not really that defensive. It just happens to be. The Spanish striker just happens to be worse in the area. Now, I don't really want to talk about in-game stats, but he does have like 94 finishing and stuff like that. This is the legend, of course. So there are some interesting stuff on the inside, you know, scoop of it, which I can bring you guys if you really want to. Next up is one a little bit different. We're going to try and look at different positions right in this video because it is interesting, of course. We've got Seamus Coleman versus Gary Neville. Now, if you look at these two, obviously not that much difference. +2 ratings for Gary Neville overall. But once again, Coleman's either better in every area of the card or at least the same, alright? For example, pace, better than Gary Neville, only by 1, but you know, 1 helps. It does help. Shooting, much better than Gary Neville, like literally much better, like over double better, alright? Over double better shooting than Gaz. Passing, a little bit better, +3 of course. And then dribbling now, obviously that's a whole nother level. Seamus Coleman knows how to dribble, mate. Gary Neville doesn't, but defending and physical exactly the same. So look at this, obviously if you had to pick one of the two, you would go for Seamus Coleman, especially if you're doing a Premier League team, forgetting all the legends and how many links they have and stuff like that. If you want to build a hybrid or whatever, then legends good obviously, but Seamus Coleman overall better right back card. And this is not even his 86 card. He does have an 86 rated, which obviously is much better stats than that. So I mean, his 86 is a joke, right? It's literally incredible stats, the same rating as Gary Neville. Just to quickly, like his 86 is 85 dribbling, 87 defending, 86 physical, 83, basically he's an 80 plus club for everything. So everything you see now is obviously not 80 plus, but his 86 one just shits over Gary. Even the 2 ratings below him is still much better, but the 86 one is a joke. I've not even featured this in the graphics, but it is a joke. We have Manolas and Hierro. Have I pronounced that wrong or right? I don't know. These Spanish ones just seem to catch me out all the time. Now, and this one is a bit different. Manolas is not better in every single area. As you guys can see, his shooting is absolutely shite. Alright, I'm just going to come out and say it is pretty dog poo. But his pace, much better. Obviously, 82, which is very good for a centre-back anyway. His passing, not as good neither, okay? So, obviously, shooting and passing is not Manolas's, you know, speciality. Neither's dribbling. The Spanish guy is actually better in dribbling, but he is better at physical and the same defending, alright? So, if you guys want a cheap alternative or whatever, maybe not even cheaper. Manolas has better pace and better physical, of course, and the same defending. And there's a rating of 3 difference between them. So, this one's a little bit more understanding, the +3 rating, because obviously the dribbling, the shooting, the passing of the legend is much better. So, it's not really that interesting to talk about comparison compared to the Coleman and compared to the Mertens one. This ain't as interesting, is it? But the 4th player is a player that I'm going to hit you with, which is, you know, one of the most interesting, best looking cards in FIFA, alright? Because if this guy gets a team of the season, he's going to be in the 90 club, alright? +90 club. And that's Nainggolan versus Matheus. Now, obviously, Matheus has got better pace, alright? Better pace. But that is about as far as we are going, alright? That is as far as we're going. That's the only thing he's got but better than Nainggolan. So the legend is a +4 overall from Nainggolan, alright? But only has 2 stats that are actually better than Nainggolan's, and that is, of course, pace and defending. Defending by +1. Shooting, passing, dribbling, physical is all better, all the same, alright? Physical is a lot better for Nainggolan. Dribbling is a lot better for Nainggolan, but passing, shooting, exact same. Now, if Nainggolan gets a Team of the Season card, he's going to join the 90+ stats for everything, probably, if that happens, which is going to be an absolute joke. Let's be honest, everything but pace is probably going to be there, so, I mean, that could be the best card in FIFA, mate, to be honest. That's going to be the best centre mid card, definitely. Now, according to this, Matthias is actually, I probably pronounced that wrong, by the way, so I'm sorry if any German fans out there, is a little bit more expensive, apparently, but obviously the cheaper alternative looks like Nainggolan, looks like the better option as well. I'd rather that card, I think. Next up, we arguably have one of the most craziest 85 rated striker cards I've ever seen, right? And it goes by name of Sal versus Gary Lineker. +4 rating difference, right? Gary Lineker's +4 better. But Sal has better pace, better shooting, better passing, better dribbling, better defending, and better physical than Gary Lineker. So Sal already, mate, he's already a better overall player than Gary Lineker ever was in his prime, apparently, or whatever. That's pretty crazy. I actually can't really believe that there is an 85 rated striker card like Sal out there who is that good. You know, how can you have a striker card at 85 rated is actually that good? Gary Lineker was a bloody good striker as well, but Sal, I'm afraid your stats shit all over Gary Lineker's. We're not looking at in-game stats, but mate, Sal's card is a joke. Last but not least, we've got Battle of the English Strikers, alright? We've got Jamie Vardy versus Michael Owen. Now, Michael Owen only has 1 stat better than Jamie Vardy, and that is dribbling, alright? Apparently, Michael Owen was better dribbling, and that is it. That is all he's got on Vardy at the minute. Vardy's pace is obviously an absolute beast. I mean, 89 pace on a striker is pretty decent anyway, but 95 is a whole nother level. Shooting of 86 is better than Michael Owen's by 1. Passing's better as well. I mean, physical obviously is going to be better for Vardy, and physical, defending, or whatever, same thing. It's still better than bloody Michael Owen anyway. But yes, there is a +4 rating overall difference on them two, and Vardy obviously well edges it, and he's, you know, much lower rated. It's crazy. Now, I've done something a little bit different today in today's video, obviously. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. If you have, drop a like and a thumbs up down below. I've brought you guys 5 players that potentially are better than legends of FIFA 17 Ultimate Team. Potentially, it could be cheap alternatives. You know, if you are looking for that, these could be the options for you. Anyway, guys, has been Pose as always. Drop a like and a thumbs up down below. Subscribe for FIFA videos. I'm out. Has been Pose as always. Peace.